This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, Regina.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm okay. How are you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing well.
Good.
How are you, Kathleen?
I'm okay. So, Regina, could you
Yes.
remind us how long you've had sarcoidosis? Oh no, Alexa has COVID and tonsillitis and laryngitis. Oh,
Oh,
you poor girl. If I was
we're
closer,
so
I'd make you
Sorry.
soup.
Oh, I wish I could. Well, no, I
Nope,
won't.
we don't want to be around her.
but we could put soup on your front porch if
Yes.
Right.
you were nearby.
Because she's not, though, she's in Connecticut. I'd have to take the boat across and
Oh
then
yeah,
find
and I'm in Massachusetts today, so
her. Yeah, Alexa just said, hell yeah, stay back. Isn't that true? Well, I'm
Mm-mm.
sorry you're
No,
feeling
no, no,
poorly.
no fun.
Yeah, go rest. We're sorry we bothered you.
Sorry, but thanks for
And
the help.
we love you.
We got it from here.
Sweet dreams. Be well.
yeah, feel better.
Poor woman. Poor woman.
Mm.
So, Regina,
Yes, ma'am.
would you like to tell us for this upcoming April, which is half a month away, what type of sarcoidosis you have and approximately how long?
Oh my gosh, you would ask me that.
I
I
did.
have chronic sarc, but I also have cutaneous and neural sarc, lung sarc. Um,
What
that's
does cutaneous mean?
cutaneous is actually skin sarc.
Wow.
I have had it for 31 years now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Do
half
you,
my life.
yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, and it seemed like it just flew by so fast.
It
But
does.
living with it, it doesn't fly by so fast. But at the age of 34 is when I was diagnosed, and this year I will be 35, 65. Excuse me.
You don't
Yeah,
look 65. You don't look sick.
that's what we always hear, isn't it?
It is, unfortunately, and that's why doctors can take advantage of us at times.
Yes.
With your skin sarcoidosis, may I ask how it represents onto the skin? What does it look like for you?
Well, unfortunately, I can tell you right now, I'm in a flare now. Even
Um,
though I'm on Remicade. Um, when it first presented itself, and it's presented itself like that again, it is your with what they call erythema nodosum,
mm,
which looks like bruising, and it's right up under the skin. They're nodules,
uh,
purplish reddish nodules right up under the skin, and they hurt like the dickens. And I get them on the back of my calf. Um, and sometimes it makes it hard for me to walk, and I'm in that situation right
mm,
now.
Mm.
Also, I get scabs on the backside of my shoulders where or itchiness, and I'm always scratching there. Sometimes I don't even know where the itchiness comes from, but I kind of figure it has to do with part of my fibromyalgia that comes right along with having sarcoid as
mm.
well. And also my skin is dry too, so that has a lot to do with it as well too. But I have scabs. Sometimes I get lesions out of the blue. So those are all presenting of my skin sarc for me.
Yeah,
And it's not a fun thing to deal with at all.
No.
Sometimes it keeps me up at night as well too. So
because it's itchy
yes,
and painful at times.
very much so.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. that you even have to deal with it. Have
Yeah,
you ever had any on your
yeah.
scalp? I'm asking, the reason why I'm asking so much is I believe I've already been diagnosed with skin sarc, but for the most part, it has always been on my lower half of the body.
Yeah. I
I
thank
see.
God that I've not had it in my scalp, because if it had been in my scalp, I would have been really a big giant crybaby, because I pride
Yeah,
myself in having hair on my head. So
yeah.
I
I'm
no.
I'm going to send you a picture because a picture tells 1,000 words, and it wouldn't be able to be on here. Um, and I get that I have to, according to the doctors, once again, I have to get a biopsy of it,
Mm.
which I never understood. You've had sarcoid for so long, so I'm going
Yes.
to ask you. As I'm still trying to help people and teach myself and things like that. Um, Now I forgot what I wanted to say.
Were you gonna
Do
where were
you,
you gonna were you
do
gonna
you
post it to the chat or no?
uh, I don't know how to. Do you know how to post that to the chat, Regina?
No,
I
because
don't
the thing
either.
is,
Uh,
this is a go-to meeting. I see
Can
it.
you see that?
It's so small. It's so small that it's hard to see, and
Ah.
you push
Yeah, the
push.
red spot
Well,
I
so
see.
that's
looks
in
like a
your
zit.
scalp then?
It
Yep,
looks
right
like,
next to that.
I'm going to tell you, I probably could have had those, but I would not have seen them on my scalp, because I'm always doing this on my scalp a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I keep my scalp so moisturized that I probably wouldn't have been able to tell.
Hmm.
But the only thing I could tell you is that for the most part, my scalp has been pretty clear.
Okay.
Has been very, very clear.
The only
So,
time I realized I had it is I was getting these headaches and like I couldn't brush my hair at all or anything like that.
Mm.
So I put my hand ever so tenderly and I'm going, what is that? And
hmm
I was under a lot of stress that week. My son's getting married, so you don't always see eye to eye. Um, so yeah, and then of course I have the doctor today saying, of course, it's not coming rearing its ugly head today. He's like, well, you have to be able to call your dermatologist at a toss of a hat, and he has to do a biopsy. And I looked at him, I go, and what world
uh,
do you live in?
right.
Yeah, like getting an quick appointment with a dermatologist?
That
So
takes
that he can do
almost
a
six
biopsy?
months. That takes 6 months.
I, I agree. And then it may not be rearing its ugly head. So
Right.
I also don't understand why. And this is just me, but I think a lot of sarcoid patients might also feel the same. Why do we have to get a biopsy on a specific thing like pulmonary? I have had two, three, four, five biopsies from being cut wide open to having needle biopsies on my lungs. And every time they say it looks different. I've had it on my skin, so I've been biopsied there. I've been biopsied for small fiber neuropathy. So why do they keep insisting on biopsies? I mean, if I have it of the skin, I have oral. It's red. It shows every sarcoid thing. It looks exactly like it. And they're saying, oh, you have to go get a biopsy. But the biopsy from a dentist or a periodontist or whatever is not free. It's not a
No, it is
$40
not.
copay.
No, it's not.
So why do we always have to? Do you have a thought on why they always want to biopsy it?
You
I'm
know,
I'm open.
that brings me to this profound question. I'm sorry, it kind of is in line with this. It is just like when they tell you to go for your mammogram, and we already have dense breast tissues. I'm sorry, James. Um,
It's
but
part of the world.
this is right in line exactly with what you're saying. We, as sarcoid women,
Mhm.
have dense breast tissue We do not need a mammogram. We need a sonogram. They're going to tell us the same thing every year over and over and over and over again, that we need to have these mammograms when they're going to tell us we have dense breast tissue anyway. And then they're going to tell us, well, you need to go get a sonogram. Well, no, we can't get a sonogram because our insurance is not going to pay for it. That money has to come out of our pocket. It's the same stuff.
Right.
I agree with
I
you.
didn't realize that. I didn't realize that you could do a sonogram for a breast examination.
Yes.
Yes.
And I have dense breasts too. Because they're so dense, the mammogram doesn't get in there very well. So my doctor writes it immediately afterwards. Thankfully, my husband's got good insurance. But yes, I get the mammogram first, and then I get the sonogram same day. I go in, and that one hurts like the dickens just as much as the mammogram does.
And insurance, but for some of us, like a person like me, the insurance will not pay for it. It comes right out of your pocket.
Right. So why do we have?
But I'm like you. Why would you have to go an extra mile to pay for that biopsy when they already know you have sarcoid? Why would you want somebody to dig on your scalp?
Right, because is it going to change the treatment at all? I mean, if they know
no, it's not. It's not going to change the treatment. They're going to give you the same exact treatment that you're already on. They just want to verify that it's sarcoid, or they just want it just for the money. It's all about the dollar. Bottom line is the dollars. I've been doing some. I did a little bit of study on some of this stuff. Did Kathleen go frozen?
I think Kathleen?
She's not moving.
I think so.
She went frozen. Oh my gosh. Hopefully she comes back.
She was breaking up a minute ago. I think she's having problems, internet problems. And by the way, we're having a huge storm out here in California. Our electricity already went off once, so I made this.
Oh my gosh. Well, before I even get started, how have you been, James?
Well, I'm doing a drive-by. I'm not going to stay very long. I apologize. Actually, I think I reported a couple of months ago I had a PET scan which said that sarcoidosis was gone. And I've been trying to deal with, what do I do now? I have a cardiologist who I just don't get along with, who wants to keep me on methotrexate. And I've come to find out that methotrexate is not an innocuous drug. You know, I definitely get some pain from it in terms of muscle soreness and stuff like that. So I'm on a campaign to try to get off methotrexate. That's why I showed up today. I just wonder if there was some common knowledge about that.
You did the same thing I did, but now I'm on Remicade because I'm a complete chronic sarcoid. But I begged them to take me off of methotrexate because my hair was falling out from the medication.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah.
Maybe that's what my problem is.
Well, look how much my hair has grown since I've been off.
Yeah.
And I'm on Remicade, which is a low-grade chemo treatment. So, and this is going into the 5th year of having locks.
Wow.
And being on Remicade treatment. Now, you know, when you're on a low-grade Remicade treatment, your hair should be growing like this. My hair is very, very long. I'm going to show y'all. Because I was literally bald-headed from the medicine taking my hair out.
Wow.
But look.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look. Yeah.
You're ready. You're a Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, my kids convinced me.
Well,
hey, Kathleen, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, but my
Oh.
camera's not
We can't
working
see you,
again.
but we can hear you.
Okay, you're fine. As long as I saw your face, you're good.
Okay, so Regina says I don't have to get the camera on, Joe.
So James, I mean, could you just stop the methotrexate on your own, or?
Well, I'm about to. If I can get this doctor to give me some room, you know, this is a this is a complaint I have. By the way, I was going to go back about dermatologists. You know, there's a joke among doctors that dermatologists are their own entity. They do things their way, you know, with all of their biopsies and everything. They could care less about the rest of medicine. Anyway, I didn't want to, I've had that experience with dermatologists and I just went, goodbye. Uh, so my cardiologist, I'm going to try to convince him to get off methotrexate. But here's where they come from. They say, well, you know, just in case, it's good to take it. And I'm starting not to believe that because I definitely get, you know, sore muscles and stuff like that. I notice it the day I take it once a week. The day I take it, I'm just not the same.
Hmm.
It's almost immediate the feedback I get. Now it affects people a lot of different ways. Regina just told me about her hair. Maybe that's my problem. You know, I'm just like my father. I have male pattern baldness, so you know, I think it's that. But I wanted to get some advice from counsel here about, you know, attacking him with that strategy. I'm with you. I'm just ready to stop taking it.
Is it
And there's
possible to go on a lower dose? I've never been on methotrexate, so I don't
no, I'm
know.
on four, whatever the little ones are,
Before.
and I was on 16 most of the time. So he considers my dosage like nothing.
Mm.
What I'm coming from is, well, why bother to take it if it's nothing?
Yes. Which doctor is that, Jim? I missed it.
Well, he's Dr. Var. He's part of Kaiser. He's in Santa Clara, and he's a world expert on sarcoidosis.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Hmm.
He's a clinical doctor. You know, he has a bedside manner that makes no sense at all. You know, he's extremely callous. Well, studies show, and your percentage, and blah blah blah. You know, and I'm just trying to tell him, look, I want to go out and ride my bike. I don't want to be a basket case when I get back from a ride.
Right.
Yeah.
So does the methotrexate mean you're a basket case after a ride, or
It definitely affects my muscles and soreness,
oh,
stuff like that. And I would love to stop taking it so I could see if it really was the causal factor. So that's the aim I'm going to take at it. Well,
Maybe
let's
you can have him slowly take you off because usually when you're on a medication, you want to be
right.
slowly weaned off of it.
Hmm.
Well, according to them, my 4 tablets, which are the little ones, is the lowest dose they give.
Well, he can slowly wean you off of that way too.
Yeah. You could take 3 tablets, then two
Yeah,
tablets, then 1 tablet.
yeah.
Well, that's what we're tapering.
Yeah.
If he says that, that's fine with me.
Yeah. I would say a taper.
Yeah. Well, I've tapered down from 16, so you know,
Right. Yeah.
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 so were you? Is that what made the sarcoid go into remission? Is the methotrexate, or were you taking anything else?
Well, this crew is familiar with my saga. Is that I was on prednisone for a year and tapered with that. And by comparison, this is a picnic with methotrexate. You know, it's not as severe at all as
Mhm.
prednisone was. But I don't know if it got rid of my sarcoid or not, but I don't have it anymore.
Mm.
And you know, the scan, the PET scan is I had to beat my doctor into submission to give me one because it's expensive.
Yes,
And
I know.
guess what? There's nothing. He even called me on the phone. He's never done that. said, guess what? You don't have sarcoidosis.
Well, I
And
know it's gone out of my lungs.
That's good.
that's interesting.
Mhm.
How?
Hmm?
How?
They keep doing x-rays on my lung, and the last x-ray I had, the doctor said it's no longer in my lungs.
Hmm.
So when I
Every
talked to
time
my
I have a
doctor,
breathing test, they come back 100%.
Good for you.
Regina, when I talked to him after that, I said, well, what's what's the chance it'll come back? And his answer was, no, it's burned itself out. You won't have it back. And I took him on his word. Well, okay, why am I taking methotrexate then? Anyway,
But I do still have it. I know for a fact it's in my skin, and I do know that I have neuro because of some of the effects that I have. But it is not in my lungs. When I was first diagnosed, it was in my lungs. I still say I have lung sarc because I don't know if I'm convinced enough for me that it's out of my lungs. But he says that it's out of my lungs.
so
Uh,
by the way, 5 years ago is where they found it in me, in my lung.
uh-huh.
And guess what? They did a biopsy. Back to that subject.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
negative.
So did you only have it in your lungs, James, or did you have it elsewhere?
Turned out it was actually in my heart walls.
Okay.
So I had cardio, isn't that what it's called? Cardios,
Cardiac, sir? Yeah.
yeah. And I was having atrial fibrillation from it, which,
Uh,
and in my case, my heart rate was too low. It was 37.
Oh,
And
wow.
did you
yeah,
have to have a pacemaker or an ICD inserted?
I have an ICD. Yeah. And it keeps me right at 50. It's perfect. But it doesn't inhibit anything else. I just have to have the battery changed every 10 years.
Yeah.
It was a godsend. So
Yeah.
I don't have AFib anymore. They did the right things, but I'm still trying to challenge why I have to take a cancer drug, when I don't have the disease anymore. So I'm going to follow your advice. I'm also going to leave because I got to go somewhere else. Sorry, but I'm going to ask him about tapering down to 3, 2, 1.
Yep. Let us know how it happens.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Good
really
luck.
good advice. Thank you, guys.
You're
All right,
welcome.
James, have a good
Hi, James. Good
see you
seeing you.
next month, hopefully.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Hi, Nassim.
Hello,
Oh,
Nassim. I was
Hi,
thinking about you. I
Nassim.
almost emailed you the other day.
oh, well, here I am. Long time no talk. I wasn't sure if I could have made it today, but I finally did. It's been a few months. I've been out, but I've been away, and I came back. I went on a trip to Japan, my wife's country, and then I came back here, and I changed a lot. I mean, a lot of things changed. I stopped all the immunosuppressive drugs. And I did it on my own. I want to stop listening to the doctors. I don't want to listen to them anymore. I don't know. I'm just going AWOL here, and I'm just doing my own thing. Have you guys ever heard of the Marshall Protocol?
I did.
No?
I've heard of it, but I've never done it.
Yeah, it's a bunch of people that went their own way because they realized that doctors don't really understand the disease, and they give you these immunosuppressive drugs that pretty much lead you to like higher level drugs, so like the pharma industry can make a lot of money. So all the immunosuppress like all the autoimmune diseases fall into that basket where it's
Mhm.
big money making, but I mean it is helping some people, but in some cases these immunosuppressive drugs from the beginning don't help anyone. I think that's my case.
Mhm.
So I found this protocol, and what they do is they use almost certain or like Benicar, which is like some kind of like a high pressure drug for the blood pressure, and they mix it with minocycline, And that's what I found really interesting, because I talked with somebody that was doing the minocycline, and I asked her, like, how come you're doing minocycline on one of the Facebook rooms? Because I was doing minocycline and it was controlling the formation of my granulomas a lot.
What
And
is
and
minocycline?
minocycline it's an antibiotic, but they use it for skin and acne. But like that's under the FDA. That's what it's certified for. But it has so much more other properties, like anti-inflammatory properties. It's almost like an NTF, like like reducer, like but at a very at a very light level, not like the hard drugs you see. Like it doesn't suppress the immune system. It does modulate it a little bit, but I mean, and it controls. Well, at least in my case, it controlled a lot the granuloma formation. And I try to explain this to my doctors, but it's not part of their protocol, so they just laugh it out, and forget it. It's good for your skin. But I don't use it for my skin. I've been on it for a year and a half now, and I mix it. I started mixing it with the Marshall Protocol that like brought in the Benicar, which is an ARB blocker, and the ARB blocker is known to like have properties for like helping immune diseases, autoimmune diseases. So these two together, it's a protocol that you follow, and you taper yourself and you try yourself different dosages, because I mean it's so hard to find a doctor that will agree to go with these protocols, even though they're very benign and like light drugs compared to what they want to give. And I'm trying that now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I have it in the heart. I've got it in the liver. I've got it systemic everywhere. I've got it in the lungs, but my lungs seems to be less affected. I just have it like up in the nose a little bit, like Regina also, like all the upper respiratory tract. That one's really annoying. And
Tell me about it.
yeah, I know. And and now I'm looking into like radio frequency turbinate reduction surgery. That when I went to Japan, I actually met a doctor that actually offered that. They don't offer it here where I am in Montreal.
Radio
They,
frequency. What is that?
it's well, they reduce the turbinates instead of like burning your membrane, which like the conventional old way of doing the operation. They used to use a laser and like burn your membrane, and you'd get crustiness and everywhere. But this one uses instead it uses radio frequency to reduce the inflammation without burning the membrane, the mucous membrane of so like it opens up the channel here so you could breathe better. So I did a bunch of research, because the conventional like operation with the burning of the laser, I haven't seen one person that actually like felt better after this. They had to go and do like 2, 3, 4 operations before anything, and even then, like I think they were done for life. And
But
you
how,
really have to be careful. Yeah.
what about where is it in your heart?
Well, the heart is weird because it's there's a discordance, because the PET scan showed inflammation activity. Then they did an MRI and they saw a little bit of fibrosis. It's nothing big. I think it's in the left ventricle or something like that. But now they're saying the heart doctor that I saw wants to do another PET scan just to make sure that it's it's okay or not. But even then, it seems to be very light. But the reason it went into the heart is because I tried to follow their protocol. My lung doctors that put me on the methotrexate, and even though I told them that the immunosuppressive actually spread the disease more, and he's like, no, you got to keep doing it. So I said, okay, I'll try. I'll try. I got off the minocycline for 2 months. During that I've been taking it for a year and a half, but during that year and a half I stopped it last July for 2 months, from July to September. And in September I did the PET scan, and they saw activity in my heart, and then they did the MRI, and that's why the PET scan lit up like a Christmas tree, because I had stopped the minocycline, and I just kept on the methotrexate. Then I tried to tell him about this. He's like, okay, whatever. So I just don't want to listen to them anymore. I want to listen to my body, and then my body tells me do this, I'll go and do that, and it's a long process, you know. It's not like a cure, like, you know, like a candy you take and it makes you feel better right away. But and a lot of these immunosuppressive drugs, that's what they do. I mean, when you get to the higher levels, you get to like the humeria or whatever, and it takes a few. I think it takes a few weeks or months to like really kick in very well, but it does. You know, I mean, if it's good, it reduces the inflammation for some people. But I know my doctors don't want to give me that. They're, you know, they do not want to go there. So maybe it's because I have a light version of the sarcoidosis, even though it's systemic. But I feel it, you know. I feel it. They don't see it in the data, but in the data, but I feel it inside. It's active. It's there every day. But you know, what can you do? You know. So that's the story. How are you guys doing? Sorry, I'm just talking too much.
No, it's all
Okay,
good.
you just got here.
Well,
Yeah.
my saga has still continued from last time you seen me.
The which one? The what?
My whole entire sinus saga has still continuing now. Except for I got 3 nose drops added,
Oh,
a muscle relaxer added, uh, a new allergy medicine added.
do you take sinus and cold medicine to
I
like
take
ease up?
I take 1 prescription allergy medicines. It's a sinus medicine, and now I take 3 nose drops, sinus nose drop medicines. One is a steroid, which I don't think is working.
It's never
One
done
is
anything for me too.
one is a bromide, and then one is something else. And I take 3 of them. The one makes me sick to the stomach, even though you still spray your nose. That stuff still get in the back of your throat,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
makes me sick to the stomach. The other one is fluticasone,
Oh yeah. I'll
which
take that.
has never worked in years. But they said and then the other one's a bromide. And they said if you put all 3 of them together, the 3 of them together should work. My thing is this: I'm tired of spending money.
Yeah,
I
it's
still
costing a
have
lot.
I still have nose drips. My nose still dripping.
And that's caused by the sarcoid.
I have chronic sinuses.
Ah, okay.
Yes, it's caused by sarcoid.
Did they see lesions? Did they find
Huh?
lesions?
He said he didn't think it had anything to do with the sarcoid, but I think the problem is they don't know what they're doing here in my hometown. Speaking of that, so this goes back to insurance. All of this goes back to insurance. So I get a letter from insurance, and insurance says that they want to do a home visit or a virtual for a health assessment, and I can earn $250. So I call them and ask them, why do they want to do a health assessment? Well, it's a questionnaire where our nurse practitioners will like to do a virtual visit or a home visit to see if there's anything that you need. I said, why would you all want to do that when my doctors do everything that I need them to do and I stay on top of my health?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just want to make sure that you are getting all of your health care needs. I said, well, you all can't help me then because I am a rare health patient and this insurance is localized. I need to get back to my Cleveland clinic doctors, and you all can't afford to send me to my Cleveland clinic doctors. I don't think they liked what I had to say to them. I said, because my health goes above and beyond what you all can do. And
You
There's
bet.
Right. The nurse practitioner they sent probably doesn't know anything about sarcoids.
Thank you. And I said, so therefore I stay on top of my health because I know what I need to do. And for my basic healthcare needs, my doctors take care of that already. This insurance is localized. Nobody in this city can take care of what I need to have taken care of.
And
I
probably
said, I will not be on this insurance long because I will be on Medicare come January. So I'm good. She said, okay, thanks for calling.
Did you guys ever think about going on disability or something?
Huh?
Did you ever go on disability? Did you try to like apply
No,
for disability?
I don't want to be on disability.
Hmm.
I'm on
I
disability.
Oh, you are,
disability means
Kathleen?
I have no desire to be on disability when I'm this close to being on Medicare.
What's the difference? What's the Medicare? Explain it to
Disability,
me, please.
because disability, it takes forever to get your disability and to get on disability here in the States. I have no desire to do that. Plus, I have a business and I don't have time to mess with that and to mess that
yeah.
up for
Mm.
myself.
The problem with disability in the state, I don't know where you are, Nassim, but in the states, disability means that you can only make a very small sum of money.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same here.
Where
Canada.
do you live? Where, Nassim, do you live?
I'm in Montreal. I'm in Montreal, like 5 hours away from you, New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not interested in disability. That will do something with my Social Security. That will also do something with my pension because I'm strictly a retired person. Although I retired before the age of 65, I don't want to afford to mess any of that stuff up by going gung ho disability. I don't want to mess up any of that stuff. So um, there's
Yeah,
a whole
I get you. I get you. Same thing here. I mean, I don't know. My family cannot live on $1,300 a month. You know,
That's the problem.
it's completely ridiculous. I mean, I can barely pass the week on 1,300. You know, with all the mortgage payments and all the food. I got 4 kids and I got a wife and I got to take care of. It's not
right,
easy. You know.
No, it's not. Yeah, I have a friend who finally got on it after years and years, and
right.
he's extremely disabled. He cannot work at all. So
So
it's
check this out. So right now, this is a killer. So right now, with me on Social Security, I getting my full Social Security right now, right? When I start to get my Medicare, they will pull $180 a month for my Social Security. I will not get full Social Security anymore.
right. That's very standard. I have heard. I'm not on either Social Security or Medicare, but I have friends who are on
Yeah,
it.
you know that $180 is a big chunk for me. I have to pay bills. And
Mhm.
not only that, you still have medical costs that you have to take care
Yeah,
of
Okay,
you on Medicare.
I'm in
And
a meeting.
prescriptions is still high when you on Medicare. I
yeah,
don't have that kind of money.
yeah.
And what is Medicare exactly? Is this just like
It is
an insurance?
federal, it is the federal health care. It's federal
Oh,
It's
health.
for healthcare for people who 65 and older.
Yes, but it's
Unless,
federal.
yeah,
you can you're turning 65.
I'm turning 65 at the end of this year.
Jesus, you look so much younger.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, you look good. Sorry, despite the disease, you know.
Thank
Good.
you.
I didn't think so. Anyway. Well, good for you if you get Medicare. Like maybe it's gonna help out.
Uh, no,
No.
Medicare. You know how many people complain about Medicare? and what it
Okay.
does not cover, and some of the expenses you still have to pay out, and how much prescriptions are.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah, you should have
crazy.
a secondary if you can with Medicare.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yes, you should have a second, and you cannot get the ACA while you on Medicare.
that's true. Yeah, it's instead of, yeah. So speaking of insurance, I was on Inflectra, and then I had a bad reaction to it. And then my doctor put me on Remicade, and I had an allergic reaction. So then he decided I should try Humira, or a biosimilar of it. It's another. I guess you know what it is. For it's a anti-inflammatory, or it's for people with autoimmune disorders. And so my insurance at first refused to pay for it. And then I had the devil of a time getting the information to my. I feel like I feel like I should get paid for some of the work I'm doing, getting the information to my doctor, because the
Yeah.
insurance company was not sending the information to my doctor. Instead, they sent me a letter, and I said to them, "Oh, are you going to send them a letter?" "Oh no, we faxed them." Well, they had the wrong fax number. They never got it. So I finally scanned it and sent it to them, and then the nurse there finally sent the appeal in, and it got approved.
So
And
you're on the biological agents? You're on infusions now?
I have been on infusions, but I had a bad reaction to Remicade. I had a hives, and so now I'm going to go on to a biosimilar, a biologic similar of Humira. Um,
Okay.
but I haven't. The insurance company just approved the cost of
Yeah.
it, so now I
Did you
have
ever
to.
try infliximab?
I did try infliximab. I I took Inflectra, which is I think a biosimilar. I don't know. I took
Oh,
infliximab several times, and then I had a bad reaction to it. And my
oh,
doctor tried me on Remicade, and I got hives from it.
Mm,
It's very
oh.
unpleasant. I'd never had hives before, thank God.
yeah.
Um, so then he decided I should try Humira.
Well,
So now,
what's your symptoms exactly? Like, what? Or you have systemic sarcoid?
well, it started out in my lungs, and then I had heart problems last year and ended up in the hospital, and I have an ICD. Um, and I got a PET scan that showed it in my lungs, in my heart, in my spleen, in some of the in the bones in the back. And
Yeah.
so then I started on the
Sounds like mine. Sounds like my PET scan. You sure he didn't switch ours?
Everyone
so
on this
then I,
call had a PET scan except for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
then they put me on prednisone, which I'm still on, although I'm on less of it, plus the Inflectra. And actually, my most recent PET scan, which was a cardiac PET
Yes,
scan,
please.
showed that there was no inflammation in the heart currently. But my
That's
rheumatologist
good.
wants. It's very good, and I had a whole body PET scan a few weeks before that seemed to show. I don't know if I'm completely free of it, but that it's much less.
Did you do the
In
MRI, the heart?
I did the heart MRI last year, and it showed it in the heart.
You saw some scarring, yeah?
You know what? I've forgotten what they saw. They saw. Oh, no, actually, I was just looking at it. I
Yeah.
don't think they saw. I don't know if they saw scarring, but they saw like patchy signs of it. But they weren't going to do a biopsy because it's so hard to find it in the heart.
Mhm.
Um, and the way I knew that it was in the heart is because um, I had heart block, third degree heart block. So they figured the sarcoid had caused that.
Wow.
And that's
Oh.
why I went and got the ICD about a year ago.
Regina, do you think you have it in the heart as well?
They say I don't, but unlike unlike you all, I never had a PET scan, and everybody has refused to give me one.
Why? Have they
Thank
said why?
you. I have my suspicions, but I won't bring it up on the call. So
If you went to the Cleveland Clinic,
I
do they?
still have my suspicions from back then when I first started out.
Mm, okay.
Right. Well, I hope you do get the PET scan one day. But regardless, I mean, even though they find it, I mean, what else more they're gonna do? You know?
Yeah, but I'd like to know where it's all at.
Well,
Yeah, it's probably everywhere. It's always like that when they open the PET
Yeah,
scan.
I'm.
I mean, but
I know I'm systemic, but just for me, I want to
You want the
know where
proof.
it's
You
all
want the
at in
proof.
my
Yeah,
body. Yeah.
that's it. You can bring it and you can show the insurance. This is real. You know? Yeah.
I mean, have you had any heart symptoms?
No, I know it's not. I've never been told it's in my heart. I've had cardiograms. I've had a lot of heart X-rays, different things like
Mm,
that, and it's never been proven to be in my heart. I've never been told I had cardiac sarc. Um, but I still want to know where it's at in my body. Period.
yeah, makes
Mm.
sense.
And I've
Mm.
always been denied a PET scan.
The insurance company denied it, or the doctors denied it, or
Let's
together?
say the insurance companies and the doctors.
It's just a scan. Why? Why would they deny it? I mean,
Money
And other reasons,
and
but we
other
won't
reasons.
get into that.
yeah. I'm guessing you're talking about racial reasons, maybe, but I don't see how. I mean, what the heck, man? They paying infusions which cost hundreds of thousands, and that's just a one-shot deal. You know, PET scan. What's the big deal? You know?
Which they're also breaking down on because I'm on Trumixa, rituximab, and I
Mm.
got my first dose in February. I was supposed to have a second dose 2 weeks later. I still am waiting for them to approve it. They're saying they're trying to go through my pharmaceutical benefits to get the medication because
Oh,
when they went through medical that they didn't get all the amount of money that they wanted to. They only got like 3K instead of 5K. But it's not going to be approved through pharmaceuticals. So let's just start there. I used to do this at a doctor's office. So it's never
oh,
going to be approved through medical. So now I see him tomorrow. Yeah, you know what? None of his staff have called me back again. Isn't that interesting?
yeah.
You know, we don't need that on top of our disease. We don't need to, to advocate so hard for ourselves. I mean,
Well, I'm going to tell you, just for our sakes in America, well, not even for our sakes in America, it's only going to get worse.
Uh-huh.
is Trump slashing in all these programs? Oh
Including
shit!
the NIH and things like that.
Yeah,
So
all sorts of medical research is being halted by people who are totally ignorant of science and medicine.
correct.
Money and profit.
And somebody who doesn't even know how to work the system,
Right.
nonetheless try to fix it. So it is what it is, right,
And by
guys?
the way, most of us don't think that Canada should be the 51st state.
No.
They're I don't know. Like I have a feeling Trump keeps talking about it. I think he's very serious, but I don't know how serious it can actually become. Actually,
Trudeau ain't going to let that happen.
well, Trudeau's gone. They replaced it with another guy. He was like the CEO of like the Bank of Canada,
Oh,
and so
Carney.
he's a money guy. So I don't know, but he's looking on the media like he's fighting Trump, but I've seen other videos that he might be trying to liquidate Canada to give it out to the Americans to become the 51st state. So it's kind
You
of
know,
dangerous right now. It's starting to become weird, man. Like, is
you
this
know,
this dystopic, like, fucked up
Oh,
situation? Like, I've seen movies about this, and I feel like this is a movie, you know? Like,
I have that feeling sometime. We're all in a
Who's
movie.
waiting for a name?
Yeah.
waiting
Hello?
for a name. This is Mister here. Ah, hello. So balance out the male male factor.
Hi, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear
No.
me?
Okay, good.
Oh, hi, Bill. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing just fine. And
You guys know who I am?
no,
No?
I'm Bill Franklin. I am the president and board chair of AnCan.
Oh,
oh,
I don't get involved in a lot of groups, but Rick and I uh, were talking about, calling into groups that are meeting at different times just to say hi. I don't have sarcoidosis. I'm a prostate cancer survivor, so but I'm involved in AnCan. Rick and I and the rest of the team work to keep AnCan running in the background. So, like,
and
I'm in
thank
the background. Rick, of course, is not. Rick's out in front of everything, right? So,
who is Rick?
oh, I'm
oh,
oh,
sorry.
so you're
Rick
that fifth
Davis is our
person.
founder
You
of
were the
Oh,
fifth
AnCan.
person I saw in the background, but I couldn't see you, huh?
Yeah. So
Ah,
Rick Davis is the founder of AnCan, and
wow.
he is the one that got this all started and got everybody, involved in setting up these groups and everything. And we started with prostate cancer, and then grew from there. So, and ended up with groups like yours. So, I was get on to the under 60 prostate cancer group, and I noticed you guys had a call tonight, so I thought I'd dial in and say hi. And I
well, hello
didn't,
there. Nice
and
meeting you.
and I hope I didn't interrupt anything that was going on. So, uh, as I said, I had prostate cancer and found AnCan before. Well, I guess we it was the Reluctant Brotherhood calls back then before we were formed the Answer Cancer Foundation. So I've been with them for almost 10 years now. So
Mm.
started volunteering about 8 years ago, and then they stuck me with the board chair and president job. So I haven't been able to I haven't
Love it.
been able to haven't been able to shake that off yet. So
Well, don't you love it?
yeah, well, we're doing good things, I think.
I
So
think you're doing great.
you're the Bill Franklin that Alexa met for lunch, huh?
Yes, that's me.
Okay.
We I was in Texas for business for my day job. I work for a company that supports the government, and I was in Texas, not far from where Alexa was at. So we went to dinner together, her and her fiance and I. So we've
Cool.
uh, we've been working together for 5 6 years and never met in person until that day. So
Mm.
That's wonderful.
It is.
so how are all of you doing tonight? Everybody doing all right?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we're doing dandy. We're just sitting up here talking about insurance and sarcoidosis and the high cost of health care and
Government.
I'm
The government?
complaining about the government.
Yes.
Well, I don't work for the government.
It's
my
in you.
co- my I work for a company that runs federally funded research and development centers, which are referred to as FFRDCs, just the letters. And we're kind of a special organization. We're chartered by Congress to address a government problem. And after we're done addressing that problem, they can either continue to use the FFRDC or they can dissolve it. But my company runs 6 FFRDCs. There's about 30 throughout the United States. We're a not-for-profit. We don't have any customers except for the United States government. We don't compete with industry like other contractors. We don't sell planes or guns or radios to the government. We just sell subject matter expertise. So, and when we're done, we the contract's over. If they need us again, they call us up. So, or Congress can dissolve our FFRDC anytime they want, and any money that we have left over, we have to give back to government. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, we're completely not for profit.
Are you seeing any difference in funding since the new government came?
Oh yeah, it is heavily impacting our company.
Oh my
I was
God,
wondering about
he's
Well,
going
I'm not
everywhere.
gonna say what I was gonna say, so I'm gonna be good.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. I work with a lot of great people in the government that I think are doing awesome work. So I think a lot of them are getting screwed over, basically.
that. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think so too. So
yeah, we're
Very
just
much.
watching. They cancel some of our contracts. We're probably going to have to let people go. Uh, just depends on what shakes out in the next few months. So
Yeah.
anybody here work with the government?
no, I'm
No.
retired.
Oh, okay.
I look.
I should
I
be
probably
retired.
could have got fired. I worked in education all my life, so
Yeah.
I'll be retiring next year,
Yeah.
but I'm still working. I actually
yeah.
have
I
to go now.
Okay,
Yeah.
Um,
Rebecca, it was good seeing
it was
you.
really
Bye,
good seeing
Rebecca.
everybody. Take care.
Yeah.
See
Are
you
you
next
gonna be
month.
on tomorrow's call?
I'm going to try to come.
Okay.
There's something else I have to do at 7:45, but I think I can come for part of the time.
Are
And
you gonna write a bio?
I still haven't written my bio, so that's clearly my homework tonight and tomorrow.
Ah,
All righty.
Okay,
Take
take care
care.
bye, Rebecca.
tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Good to meet you, Bill.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
So,
I'm.
Bill, just so you know, I run the writing group, the newest group on the block. So,
Right? Yep.
and that's tomorrow at 6.
Yeah, I saw that on the calendar.
Yeah.
We're actually about to start a new group too, so you won't be the new one on the block anymore.
Oh, it's an MS group
No,
Hmm.
it's a
for
veterans
45
group.
and under. Oh, it's another group.
That one's in the works, but so our veterans group has kind of evolved into a, you know, helping veterans get the benefits that, that they can get because they are veterans. And a lot of guys are like, well, that's fine, but I know how to get my benefits. So they want a call more like men speaking freely or women speaking freely. So we're forming a group called Vets Speaking Freely. So it'll be veterans, and we have, we're not special, but we have different life experiences than a lot of people just because of what we've done in our lives. So
Right.
I'm a 22-year retiree from the Air Force.
Cool.
Very
Desert
nice.
Storm, Gulf War, all that good stuff.
Sound like my brother.
Hmm.
He's been all over the place. He's been in Iran or Iraq or one of those
Yep.
twice. He's
Uh,
been all over.
Never went to
Bill,
Iraq, but I spent quite a bit of time in Afghanistan. So
it was
There
nice
too.
meeting you.
too.
I'm sorry, I have to leave, Regina.
All right,
oh,
Kathleen, talk
Love
to
you.
you
Bye,
later.
Kathleen.
Talk to
nice
you
to meet you.
soon. Innocent, nice to meet you too as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you.
I know I know I came in like after you guys had already been on for an hour or so, right? So
Yeah. Oh, you're fine.
yeah.
You're fine. It's kind of nice to meet the one of the board members, the president.
Yeah. It sounds fancier than it is for sure.
It's kind of cool, you
I
know.
guess
Yeah.
anybody can be president these days, right?
I'm going to start
Yeah.
recording since everybody's gone.